Today's episode of Outreach Asia is brought to you by Spaces. Spaces offers creative working environments with a unique entrepreneurial spirit. Visit spacesworks.com. And London Institute of Business and Technology. LIBT makes executive education accessible and affordable to everyone. Visit libt.co.uk.
Welcome to another episode of Outreach Asia. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Outreach Asia. As you know, every week we try to bring an entrepreneur from the Thai startup ecosystem and talk to them about nothing but how to build companies. It's simple as that. And as you know, I was down here in 2012 for the first time. There wasn't much activity back then. And the only co-working space they had back then was Hubba. And I visited them. Not much of an activity. 5 years go by. Now in 2018, there's co-working spaces everywhere. Startups are coming out everywhere. Government is pumping billions of dollars into startups. A lot of things are happening. So if you're close by, if you happen to stop by Bangkok, you should definitely come and check this out. Check what's happening here in Thailand. My personal take is actually, this can very well be the more or less center for startups, over the next few years in this region. So today on the program, I have another experienced entrepreneur. He's been doing this for decades now. He's none other but Art from Meta Media. He's been doing this from 2005. And welcome to the program.
Hello.
And Amy.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, how are you? So we
good.
met each other briefly last year at Digital Big Bang.
Yeah.
How are things after the event?
Oh, actually, it was our pleasure to join that event because it was one of the greatest digital and technology exhibition in Thailand. Mm-hmm. That event attract those influential voices like investor, successful entrepreneurs, and a lot of people. So it was a good chance for us to introduce our product and service to the market. Moreover, we was there at the booth, so people can visit us and we can kind of get and feedback and ask them about our product.
Yeah.
And so we got a lot of customers from that event as well.
That's how I met you as well.
Yeah, I think so.
And Art, so you're kind of like the mastermind behind a lot of these products that you put out from Meta Media.
Yeah.
So
products.
There's a lot. You're doing a lot of things, and we were really impressed. So how would you explain Meta Media and the suite of products you've got?
Okay, so Meta Media Technology is a Bangkok-based software company. So about 13 years, as you said. We are entering teenage now.
Yeah.
We have a few products under the name Longdu. Longdu it's Thai for try it, just try it. That's the meaning. So we have the sense of, just try it, go out and try it. That's the meaning. So we started with an online dictionary project. It's called Longdu Dict. This was even before the starting of the company. So me and my partner, Dr. Buttichai, we were abroad in Japan at that time. We had to read a lot of papers, look up meanings of words. So at that time, there were not many online dictionary, especially for Thai. There were none.
Right.
So we created Longdu Dict, and now I think
What is the penetration like? How many people are using it?
right now,
Yeah.
until now, I think we are, let's say, the top online dictionary with close to 1 million page views per day. So
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
that's
Yeah.
That is huge.
Yeah. That's where most people know us.
And you were telling me earlier, you did your PhD in Japan.
Yes.
Why Japan? How come you ended up in Japan?
Japan, of course, is a nice country, nice
Right.
people, very high technology. And besides everything, there was a very nice scholarship as well. So I
Okay.
got a doctor with, that's where I met my partner actually of this company
I see.
at the National Research Institute.
Okay. So, Longdu has a set of product lines.
Yes.
A suite of products, I'd say. Longdu cards, Longdu dictionary, and the traffic engine.
Yeah.
And so, how do you manage to
Longdu map.
and the maps
Yeah.
and the mapping engine? How do you manage to put out this many product lines?
Okay. Just only a few, not that many. But okay, let me tell you the story. So each product has its own story,
Okay.
From the dictionary, as I told you, it's just from the problem of we have to look up words, right?
Okay.
Map is another story. So if you remember in 2005, maybe we all witnessed, we've been through that, the birth of Google Maps.
Yes.
So Google Maps, I would say it's one of the inspiration, really, really big inspiration. Before that, it was pain. You have to go to online, you look up map website, it was not very good.
Remember
user interface.
MapQuest?
Yeah, maybe let's not mention the name, right? Those kind of thing. But then there comes Google Maps, and at that time there was no map of Thailand in Google
Right.
Maps. So we were thinking like, it would be cool to have it.
That's a heck of a challenge to take on.
Yeah. And I think we have to give credit to Bangkok Metropolitan Office.
Okay.
At that time, think about that, that was 2006, 12 years ago.
Okay.
They gave away the open data of the map of Bangkok.
I see.
It was so precious that time,
Right.
Not just images, but
Yeah.
it's raw digital data. They just gave away in CD.
Yeah.
So my partner heard the news. Hey, he drove the car there, got a CD,
Right.
and then after a few weeks, then he came up with let's say the first version of the online mapping.
Okay.
And we looked, and then this is so cool.
Okay.
So since then, the beginning there was only Bangkok map, but then we got partner. We have demo. We talked to partner. Okay, they have Thailand map. It's a new map, so that's we still partner today. So then the story started, and even after that, we got approached from the business clients. So for consumers, maybe you think, okay, Maps is for mobile phone, you're browsing, you look up place you want to go today. But on the corporate sides, Map plays an important role in, for example, things like asset management of organizations, fleet operators, and also monitoring and analysis of everything. So Map is in almost every part of the business. So,
I see.
and then there we had our first business solution. So at that time, so also it was not always easy. Google Maps, of course, later they had Thailand Maps very, very quickly, and so many other companies. But then, so we saw, let's say we had good opportunity to seize the market. There's a corporate GIS and map market where they need kind of out-of-the-box appliance map server. So our solution fits in, and from that on.
So basically, third-party developers can build apps on top of the engine you got.
Yes, from our API and on top of that.
So how challenging is it to go against somebody like Google? How would you?
I wouldn't say against. Okay, let's think of it as a filling the gap.
Right.
The market is huge, and I would say no single one. Even you have huge rock.
Yeah.
You fit in the box, but there's still rooms for that. And I think to all the startups right now. So don't worry. So if even there's giant has some gaps, so
Yeah.
we can fill. And but of course you have to think about that and make sure you're attacking those
right
problems.
points.
Yeah, the right points. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are, for example, in our case, there are corporate solutions that need some kind of special arrangement,
Right.
like a setting of the map server,
Right.
the linking, interconnecting with the existing system,
Right.
those kind of things. So we still have, our solutions up and
Do you run into a lot of issues when when you need to communicate with some of these legacy systems?
yeah.
Do you run into a lot of systems? How do you what kind of an approach do you take?
Oh, you just don't give up. Yeah, it's true. So I would say from our experience,
Right.
problems are not always technical.
Uh-huh.
Technical, of course, you spend all your effort, you develop the best software for the market, but then when you deploy that, you have to be careful. Yeah. The goal is to solve customers' problems.
Yeah.
Not just sell your products. Yeah.
I think Eric Ries a few years ago, I forgot exactly what the quote was. He said something along the lines of, engineers can build anything you want.
Yeah.
You can build the best software that is out there. It's you can do that. But what matters is if you're solving the right kind of problems.
Yeah.
If your building has the right kind of market fit.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
When it comes to product development, what is the approach like at MetaMedia?
You mean software?
Yeah,
product
software development. Is it? Do you
Great.
tend to take a lot of these lean approaches as well?
Yeah, we use pretty standard one.
Okay.
Our own version of Agile. So develop the prototype early on.
Yeah.
That's very important that the customers see what they will get right at the beginning, and a lot of iterations. But of course you need a lot of tools, good tools, of course, version control, those kind of things, bug tracking, issue management, of course. But still, I think the most effective issues to be successful in this development and deploying service to customers is that you always listen to customers and you take actions.
Yeah.
Sometimes you listen, but you don't do anything, right? Take action, fix the system, go back and iterate over time. Yeah, things go well.
So I have an interesting question. So I'm guessing you work with a lot of the government agencies very closely in Thailand. My experience is that, not Thailand, my experience with a lot of the governments is that it's very difficult to kind of keep the speed and when it comes to developing solutions.
Development
that,
speed? Or?
Yeah, not necessarily the development speed, but mostly the communication back and forth, right? And this happens with government agencies all the time. What has been the experience so far for you?
Yeah, I think all we need is that we have to understand their situation, right? On one side, okay, this is first thing, what they say they need is not really what they need.
Yeah.
But we cannot blame them because that's what they know they need at the beginning. Yeah. But over time, then things change, and I think there's culture plays a role here because maybe in private companies things go really fast. With the top guy said yes, go this direction, then things change. But for government, sometimes it's more difficult, and also the personnel, the staffing, everything. So I think the middleman is very important. You have a bunch of good engineers, develop best software, fine, but then the problem is here. The guy here that delivers software, do you just put it on the table and go home? That's not going to work.
Yeah.
You need to stay with them, influence them, convince them to use it, and listen, look at their problem. Sometimes it's not your problem.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's very simple.
Yeah, especially when you kind of faced with the situations where the problem and the solution are both unknown.
Yeah.
It's pretty challenging, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of iterations.
There's a lot of
you have
back
to
and
go
forth, and this guy must take care of this side and go back to the team and make sure it's going like in the loop, you know?
through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting back to Longdo cards specifically, I tried it out a couple of
Okay.
times as well. And so how would you differentiate Longdo cards from somebody like, One Card or Rabbit?
Okay, so Loga Cards is a software platform that enable business to do the customer loyalty.
Okay.
So in this sense, we are not building customer loyalty for ourselves. We build
Yeah.
a tool so that smaller business, they can use our platform and develop their own version of the loyalty programs.
Okay.
So if you think of it as the One Card, for example, the One Card belongs to the central group here,
Central
right?
group, yeah.
So these are big companies.
Yeah.
Let's say Starbucks, so
Yeah.
everybody knows. Starbucks is very successful in having their, let's say, customer loyalty program, but I would say it's not only customer loyalty. The mobile app, it's linking to payment and loyalty and all the experience of using their product service.
User experience is pretty good.
User is pretty good. But then that's big company. You have a bunch of marketing and IT departments.
Right.
For smaller companies, of course,
It's very difficult to-
very difficult. And our goal is to empower them with
I
the
see.
tool, so that they can have enough weapons to fight in the market. So we stand by them. We develop the system, starting with the customer loyalty, because that stems from our own problems.
Yeah.
When you go to restaurant, they give you plastic membership card,
Yeah.
and we like to go out and eat, and and end up my purse is like this thick, and
Yeah.
I became so many member, and then that's problem for us. That was the beginning.
Yeah.
So the idea was so simple. How do we make these shops and restaurants, they use the mobile phone instead of that?
Yeah.
But it was so interesting for us to learn that that's the consumer side.
Right.
We think, hey, you just change to plastic to computer. It should be easy.
Right.
But then, I think we have talked to more than 1,000 customers. We went out and talked. You don't have to use a platform, you just talk. And what's your problem? And it's bigger than that,
Yeah.
It's not just changing from paper to plastic, but what is marketing first? What's marketing? Do we need customer loyalty?
Right.
Customer relationship, what is it? And technological point of view, like we have our own system, it was there 10 years. Okay, you have new things, how do we link? So those kind of things that kind of make us evolve from the Longdo card at the beginning, just a plastic membership card turning electronics.
Yeah.
Now it becomes like the tool for them, not only customer loyalty, but we this year recently they talk about mobile payment. Nowadays I want to see products and maybe customer can order, and those kind of things.
So I have an interesting proposal. Okay, hear me out. Okay. So the problem I have is, when I go back to Sri Lanka, I take Thai Airways or Sri Lankan Airlines most of the time. And a lot of the domestic airlines are like Scoot and AirAsia and all that, right? Now the problem I have is, there's One Card, there's Rabbit, there's 7-Eleven's got their own thing going on, I think, with the stamps.
Yeah.
Starbucks has got their loyalty card. I just cannot carry all of these.
Yeah.
Right? And at the same time, so a lot of the points I get from Thai Airways, for example, sometimes it expires, I guess. I don't even remember. And all these points are in so many bunch of different places. I don't even remember sometimes. What if, hypothetically, if these loyalty points were issued as cryptos, as tokens, some sort of a token, maybe an ERC20 token, are you able to accumulate all of these points and spend it somewhere else? Let's say I accumulate all my points and I get a air ticket, or buy something at Starbucks. can this be done, or is it something you thought of in the long run?
I think the answer is yes and not sure.
Okay.
It is yes first because from technical perspective, with this blockchain technology, cryptography, it's possible technically to exchange points between parties
Yeah.
and getting trust from every parties. Trust
Yeah.
is the most important thing,
Absolutely.
right? Technically, I think we can prove that this is possible, but I'm not sure is my second answer because
Why would you say that?
it's not only technical issues. When we go talk to customers, from their perspective, it's their business, how they improve their business. That's the
Right.
first priority,
Yeah.
right? And
The first priority they have is, by giving a discount or a promotion or a loyalty point, how can I get the customer back again?
in their own stores.
In their own stores.
Yeah. And now we're telling, your customers might be able to spend points somewhere
Somewhere else.
else. But there could be also new customers
Yeah.
coming in from other stores.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of chicken and egg a little
Kind
bit.
of
Yeah. If we could get someone started, like big
Has
guys.
anybody done any kind of a research on this? I'm just curious.
Not really.
Not really?
Yeah.
But it's a very interesting idea indeed. I think
I
in
mean,
a few years to come. Yeah.
if it is out there, let's say, okay, so let's say when I go to Tops Market downstairs or Starbucks, and instead of putting the points on their own card, I'd gladly collect tokens, knowing that I can spend it somewhere else also.
Yes.
I mean, as a consumer, I might
Yeah, that would be
I'd
nice.
really say that.
Yeah.
But on the business side,
I think this is already happening, but not in the, but like some companies partner with some company, right?
Yeah.
You buy here, you can get your mileage points somewhere else. That's
Yeah.
already happening.
Right.
But just some partners. But to have like a more widespread use of this scheme, I think that's
Yeah.
challenge. But that's very interesting idea.
Yeah. So, Amy, how's traction with Longdu cards at the moment?
Well, actually, it is very interesting. From the past few years, like you said, it's quite difficult to get people to understand what the e-membership platform or the application is.
Right.
So right now, like the trend of having the app on the phone is kind of normal, and
Yeah.
everyone uses a smartphone.
Yeah.
So I think they are more like interested in, because with the tool they can do so many things. It's not just like e-membership. So a lot of customers come in and like they search online for the e-membership,
Yeah.
before that we have to go on the field to find those retailers and talk to them and convince them.
Yeah.
And right now it's like another way around. So like they kind of come to us. So we are well received by our customer. Yeah, I think, and this is why we keep developing more.
And I came across this research. I'm not sure how accurate this is. This has been put out by Nielsen. So what they say is reward redemptions, right? Singapore is leading at 17.8% of redemption of loyalty points, like basically spending the points. And what they're saying is Singapore is at 17.8%. I'm not sure. I mean, Singapore is at 18, Australia 15, New Zealand 14, Hong Kong 12, Indonesia 8, and Thailand is not in this map. But
Okay.
so that kind of doubts me. Like it makes doubts in my mind that because in the Thai market, what I've seen is everybody is crazy about like loyalty points, and especially when you. I'm sure you've seen, when every now and then 7-Eleven puts out the stickers, right?
Yeah.
People are crazy about it,
Yeah.
and sometimes even my wife collects these stickers and kind of. I guess it's a hobby as well, but people are crazy about it. I sometimes it's a bit difficult for me to wrap my head around it as to why.
I think it's part of the culture.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not completely all about loyalty to the brand. I'm not sure. Maybe some degree, certain degree of loyalty.
Yeah.
But we love promotions and discounts.
Yeah.
Right. So if like they ask us to maybe take a photo selfie and post on Facebook,
Yeah.
just to get maybe a small thing, then let's do it. Yes. I think that's part of the culture. And you buy the cheapest one, even if that means you have to spend 5 minutes more of your time. That's also cost, right?
Yeah.
But you still do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the culture thing. And
A lot of the daily deal business models kind of like, I guess, died down in a way. I mean, I was actually pretty critical about Groupon's model as well. I wrote some content a few years back as well. What do you think about daily deal business models?
they still exist in other forms. Okay, let's. I think if you are in Thailand, you know that you have mobile phone. Your mobile phone belongs to one of the big operators.
Right.
And these operators, they have loyalty programs.
Yeah.
That means you're using their SIM card, you go out to ice cream shop and you get discount.
Yeah.
It's kind of another form of the deals, you know?
Yeah.
So instead of we go to that side, but you can use it directly from your phones.
Yeah.
And I would say this is a lot. I mean, a lot of people use it. It's effective.
Yeah.
But who is loyal to who?
Exactly.
Yeah. Customers are loyal to that phone company, right?
Yeah.
What are the shops standing there? Okay, waiting for operators. Okay, I go with you. I go with you as well. You know, that's kind of good to have it, but we see that, of course, you are big companies. Without this, you can still do many other things. But smaller companies, okay, how do you fight? You're looking at them. That's where we stand. We want to support these smaller guys.
Yeah. Traffic engine you got along with the maps.
Yeah.
Right. They work together, I guess. Has that been a challenge to get? If you take places like Singapore, which is very structured and easy to manage. If you take highways and all of that. So if it says the bus comes in 2 minutes, it'll actually be there in 2 minutes. And I know it's extremely difficult to do this in Bangkok. Right?
Yeah.
And have you been trying that kind of things?
Yeah. Okay, so let me tell about the traffic engine a little bit. So after we had map, so things to put on a map, of course, one of the most interesting thing is the traffic condition, right?
Right.
The status of the congestion level. Right. You can see like color lines, red, yellow, green. Yeah. And where does that information come from? They come from many sources. In the past, they have sensors on the streets, but that means you have to invest a lot on every street. But nowadays, the most effective source is from mobile phones.
Yeah.
They call it mobile probes.
Yeah.
And also some GPS device installed on the taxis, installed on office cars, for example. So that's kind of floating data, a lot of data. And from that data, we can process them and make information out of it. Like basic current status or prediction. Yeah. And since the beginning, I think like 10 years ago, we've been working with the government sectors, NECTEC, and the police and the Bangkok Metropolitan on collecting those data, processing it, and give out the information. Yeah. And then we developed the traffic engine, meaning the engine to process this data. Yeah. And nowadays there's a ITIC, it's Intelligent Traffic Information Center. Okay. It's a foundation that takes care of this information.
I see.
Get the data and process.
Yeah, I mean, sure, like having IoT devices all across the city is pretty expensive. Or is it?
If you have to invest everything, then it's expensive. But these kind of data, they exist already.
Right.
For example, mobile phones, of course, people use mobile phone, your app,
Yeah.
or the GPS device on taxi, they already have, because for the safety, for the operation of taxi,
Right.
they kind of existing. Just the business model to get this data in the not so expensive way. And
So in other sense, do you have some sort of a AI engine running in the behind the scenes that gives certain predictions, or
we're working on that. Yeah, we
Okay.
have right now the engine for the current status,
Okay.
the data processing. But of course, we have a lot of data. There will be more work going on to the analysis, mining a little bit, prediction. Yeah, that's what currently going on. We work with the IT Foundation on that.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so it should get better and better. Bangkok traffic.
I hope so.
Yes.
Hope so. I mean, if the BTS stops for like 5 minutes, the whole city is pretty much
Damn.
jammed. All right.
Right, that's true.
I have another question. So, since especially you have a AI background, the
A little
PhD,
bit,
yeah.
yeah.
You saw the Google phone call they did, right?
Yes.
Do you think that was did that really happen, or was it?
That's what he said.
That was he
it's real
says.
cool. Yeah.
But people are doubting now.
Doubting?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of discussion about it online now.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying like it didn't really happen.
I don't think they are lying, of course, but that's of course a controlled environment. Yeah?
Maybe.
But I believe you can experience that with the Google Assistant. It's on the mobile phones,
Yeah.
or Siri, or Amazon.
Actually, my personal experience is that Google Assistant is much better than Siri.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Yeah.
if Siri can understand, if you speak in a sort of an American accent or a British accent, then Siri kind of gets it. But Google AI, it's solid. I mean, you can basically speak in any accent, it gets it.
So from what I know, these big guys, they are putting a lot of effort into this thing, and I don't think they are lying. It's coming. It's coming, and that's also of course, it's good for us, humanity as a whole, right? This is kind of new technologies, but also it's a reminder for startups and smaller companies that you have to start taking into account that AI, data mining, analytics is there. You have to,
I kind of see that as the fourth paradigm shift in a way. I mean, that's kind of like how I kind of classify it. First, you had the computers, the internet, then the mobile devices on the cloud, and now AI. We're at the verge of it.
Well, AI was there for a long time. But just now, it seems to have its peak right now.
What do you think is going to change over the next 3 years if you were to kind of take a wild guess, I guess?
I think this 3 years, let's say this period, it's another exciting time for computer people, IT people, because the many technologies become more mature. If you remember, like 10 years ago, people talk about speech recognition, it's research, you need to have this very complicated system. It takes a long while. It becomes like normal stuff now. You go to, last year I went to China and I could not communicate with the taxi driver. Just take out the mobile phone and speak quickly in their own accent, and then the machine translation. That it became like part of the normal life. Just now, just after, when I did my PhD, I was in AI, like a knowledge-based system. It was kind of, it's far away. Maybe it takes 30 more years to use it. But you see it right now. So I think this incoming 3 years are so exciting. Not only AI, but I think every technology, something else like or autonomous car. Some part of AI as well. They're all coming. So just so excited.
It's no joke, I think.
It's no joke.
It's no joke, and we seriously need to be prepared.
Yes.
And I don't think most of these corporates really. I mean, I understand they're putting effort, but I don't know how many people are really getting the kind of disruption that's going to happen over the next few years. You know, when you look at in corporations, when you look at certain things from a general management perspective, you don't really see it, I guess.
Yeah.
Localization is a pretty big deal for most of these companies that are coming into the Thai market from outside.
Yeah.
Because locality, like even the devices are in Thai language. You know, not just the text, right? Has that been since you've been in this space for such a long time?
Yes.
Much longer than most of us here. Has that been an issue for you? How would you handle that?
I think this has been issues, but the situation is getting much better right now. So let's say from the beginning of computers, 1970s something. Yeah. Of course, the development is done in the US, in the Europe, and Thai language issues. Thai is one of the complex languages. You see it.
No spaces.
No spaces. You have to do the word breaking, and also we have the combination of like consonant and vowel in the same cell, let's say. So there were a lot of research and development going on in the past 10 years. And I and my partner, we were lucky to have been involved in that since I was working with NECTEC, National Electronics and Technology Center. It's a research development at that time. So they did a lot about the Thai language related research, and also together with the community out there, open source community, Linux, this kind of people. And I think right now, most of the basic stuff like how to process a Thai text string, word breaking, we have certain amount of resources, and they become less problematic. So that's also one of our pain, So as a Thai software developer, the first thing you think, you see this, it doesn't work with Thai, so you try to fix it. Right? That's the first thing. Before thinking about AI, robot talking, so fix the Thai language problem first. Right. So that's what we have been involved with in the past 10 years. It becomes much better now. So I would say localization is not, of course it's important, but now the Thai language, it's in the status of quite okay.
Some of these startups that are expanding to Thai market, from a localization perspective, what recommendations would you give?
You have to do it. You have to deal with it and make sure the Thai people will comfortably use the software, for example, use the system. So approach the right people with the right technology.
Remember the SourceForge days?
Sorry?
SourceForge days.
SourceForge?
Yeah. Remember, back when the development was, all the development communities were on IRC channels, and we had code repos on SourceForge. A lot of the developers you come across now, they haven't even heard of any of that.
They know GitHub.
And
now maybe moving and so.
But it was a good time though, right?
It was a good time, But now it still exists in other forms, GitHub, GitLab is getting.
But I kind of like, I don't know. I kind of feel like a lot of things happened back then. Now it's like,
You think? We're getting old.
Maybe so. Maybe we're just getting old.
I think things are going good in that way. So instead of maybe old stuff, they have newer stuff. It's getting cooler and cooler.
Sorry. What do you? How do you see the support of the government for the startup community? I've seen what they're doing in Singapore and States, and when you look at other Asian countries, I have my take on it. How do you see it?
Okay, I can talk on the business perspective, and maybe Amy can fill in on the support. So from the business side, right now things are much it's much better than 10 years ago.
10 years ago,
of
right?
course. 10 years ago, you want to start a company. Where do I start?
Exactly.
Okay, maybe there are a few competitions to join and get some grants.
Yeah.
Right now, office, you don't even need it.
Yeah.
You can come here
Yeah.
and work. So office is not a problem, and there are tons of support from many private, public sectors. So things are, I think, getting so good. So now we don't have any excuse anymore to start a business. And yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that means more competitors are coming, right? Everybody can start anything now.
Yeah.
But that is good. That is a happy problem. So
Yeah, good problems to have.
yeah. So from our experience, yeah. But there's one thing that, I think the best way to support business is not really to give them grants like awards. Oh, they're fine. They're fine. But the best way to support is to buy their products.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
So to my opinion, of course, if you start a company right now, okay, of course you try to win some awards, good,
Yeah.
of course. But just make sure that your real business is sell products, sell
Yeah.
service. Make sure you can sell it. And
Yeah.
if the government would also consider, apart from this award and exhibition thing, they buy more products from startup.
Right.
That would be the best way to support.
That is true. I completely agree. Anything you want to add? Maybe?
Yeah, actually, based on my experience over the past few years, I think to initiate and push the Thai startup is kind of significant goal of the government,
Right.
because they arrange as a lot of good event. So to let other people to come and meet with startup. It's
Yeah.
kind of like business matching.
Right.
So they kind of support Thai SME and as well as startup.
Yeah.
So we can work together, digital big bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thailand Startup Thailand and other event as well.
Actually, Digital Big Bang. I loved it. I mean, they had a lot of things happening there, and a lot of activity.
Yeah.
And when you compare, we have to look at things from an Asian context, right? I don't think there's any other government like the Thai government that are supporting startups. I mean, I haven't really come, other than maybe Singapore. Singapore is doing a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good thing then.
Yeah, it is. It is good. It is good. Yeah, and that's why I guess when you factor the living costs and the living standard, that is pretty good as well.
In Thailand, yes.
In Thailand.
Yeah, let's come to Thailand.
And maybe we've had this conversation so many times, with other founders as well. Singapore is like Delaware now. People just register the business. Everything happens in Thailand.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
it's a good place here. I confirm.
and yeah. And have you heard about True Digital Park coming up?
Yes.
I had True on the program in another 2 weeks, I think. So we can get into details on that. But have you heard about it? Have you seen it?
Yes, it's gonna be actually nearby here.
Nearby.
In the south of Bangkok, yeah. A big area with not only office building but residential.
I think they're gonna have. They're
Yeah.
gonna have apartments, condos, and
Yeah.
and
I think it's a great move. Well, it's not that Bangkok lacks office space. We have a lot, but nevertheless, for startups, it's of course great to have an environment that tailored to their needs. We don't need just space. We need support, and bigger companies will be there as well. Investor, so it's easy. So I think it's
maybe you can give an answer for this. So if you go back maybe 10, 12 years, corporates weren't really involved in the startup scene this much, right? So this whole thing with corporates being involved in startups happened very recently, over the last 5 years maybe. What do you think that tipping point was for the corporates to be involved in startups? Was it the exit stories that they've seen on TV, or I'm still trying to understand.
Not so sure, but I think like those companies like see like how the startup can be, like see the opportunity, so they probably want to join that opportunity. I don't know.
What do you think?
I think it was since the booming of the sharing economy. Do you think?
Okay.
Apple and Google, Facebook, they were there for a long time. Right?
Yeah.
But just the latest wave of unicorns, I would say, Uber and Grab and Airbnb.
Yeah.
That's that period. Then people heard again about this startup after, So I think it was that time, sharing economy, and then people say, oh, startups, let's do it.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's a really good thing, and you can get all the support you can get from anybody, right?
Yeah.
And and in a way, you have to respect a lot of these corporates in Thailand for the extreme support they're giving for the startup community.
Yes.
And I think we talked a lot about anything you want to add, Emmy?
I don't think so.
So what are the plans at Meta Media over the next few years?
We keep growing. We don't give up. That's our motto.
Any other newer products that you guys are planning to put out? Anything you want to plug in?
Yes, something, but
Okay.
Let's see.
Not really talk about. Okay.
Yeah, like we will probably talk to our customer and get some research, and we will develop more product that will fit and benefit them. Yeah. That
It
will
all comes down to
yeah.
that simple thing, right?
Yeah.
So sell the products, make it better, listen to customers.
Yeah.
Again, thank you so much, guys, for coming down. It's been an amazing episode. Especially you've been in the space for a long time than most of us here have. and thank you so much for taking time to come down and talk to us. And before we wrap up, I want to thank Viv and the beautiful HD team, and they're doing an amazing job, doing this production. And we're receiving a lot of good feedback about the production and the quality of the video. Everybody's like, "Oh, is this like a network show?" So we're it's all because of you guys. Thank you so much, Viv and Mac and everybody. And Spaces, we cannot forget Spaces, and they've been supporting us since the beginning. Fred, Lake, Yo, everybody at Spaces. If you're a startup, whether you need a 1-person office or a 10-person office, or you just want to have a flexible desk, all of these options are available to you at a very affordable rate. And Fred is amazing. Lake is amazing. They'll really take care of you. Whatever the problem you have, you just go and talk to them at the front desk. That's why, we, LIBT, we operate out of Spaces as well, because the community factor in the line of business we do as well is very important. So, if we want to conduct a training program on blockchain, for example, Dash is right across the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Dash founders are right across the corner. So who else is better than people who've initiated these things, right? So that's one of the reasons we operate out of Spaces as well. The community part of it is extremely important, and thank you so much, Spaces, for sponsoring us. If it wasn't for you guys, independent media like this would not be possible. And again, thank you, Viv and Art, Emmy, everybody on the program today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And good luck. Good luck with all the new product lines that are coming out.
Thank you.
With that, we're going to wrap it up. We'll see you guys next week with a very special guest from Bhutan. And so some of the information is out there already on the Facebook pages, but we're very excited to host him here in Thailand. See you guys next week.